Greetings and welcome to another Impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Neocab. Neocab is a neo-noir adventure game set in a near-future dystopia where you play as Lena, a human cab driver in a city where most of the cars are automated and run by the shady megacorporation Capra. You'll pick up and ferry passengers trying to keep on their sweet side for that all-important 5-star rating, all while investigating the disappearance of your childhood best friend, Savvy. The stories in Neocab are split into two distinct, if intertwining halves. On the one hand, you have the main overarching narrative about finding your missing best friend. On the other, you've got the individual stories of the fares you pick up as you play, who will also occasionally drop much-needed hints to help you in your overall mission. It's in the latter where Neocab really shines, thanks to a cast of incredibly well-written characters with excellent storylines that take full advantage of the dystopian cyberpunk setting. Conversations with your passengers open up all sorts of interesting discussions about technology's role in love, friendship, privacy, employment, security, and more, and I was thoroughly entranced by these side stories as they played out via incredibly natural-sounding conversations. Generally, you'll be able to pick up between 2 to 3 fares per night, and the game usually gives you a choice between 3 different characters. As your week in Los Angeles progresses, you'll start seeing familiar faces pop up on the Neocab app, and you're able to engage in continuing storylines with certain characters, following up on their own adventures in the city. I was riveted by the ongoing narratives I had become unwittingly entangled in, and the conversation system made me feel like I was making a genuine connection with these people as I drove them around town. As long as I didn't puke in my car, of course. While these interactions form the majority of your time with Neocab, at least in the first few hours, you're also tasked with finding Savvy, who goes missing after sending you a panicked text with a location to pick her up, only for you to arrive and find nothing but her broken cell phone. While Savvy and the characters you meet in the main plot are just as strongly written as the others, the main plot itself felt fairly dull. Partly because more emphasis is placed on picking up fares, getting paid, and trying to get those all-important 5-star ratings, it's the main plot that actually takes a back seat to the more interesting side stories. It doesn't help that the core narrative also feels fairly mundane. As you peel away the layers of mystery and conspiracy at its centre, the story feels like one I've heard a dozen times over. Occasionally, I was also tasked with picking up a character to grill them for information, which was actively annoying, as it usually meant ignoring a character whose side story I was much more invested in continuing. Whenever you're interacting with anyone, you'll naturally be making choices during dialogue. Fairly standard stuff, but Neocab has its own twist on making dialogue choices thanks to the Feel Grid, a wrist device similar to a Fitbit that displays Lena's current mood. The colour of the device will show you how Lena is feeling, which will be varying degrees of angry, sad, cheerful, or relaxed. Conversations and events will cause Lena's mood to shift, and depending on your mood, certain dialogue options will or will not be available to choose. If Lena is angry, for example, she'll be more confrontational, and you'll be unable to select options in conversations that would be more diplomatic or calm. This helps make conversations flow quite nicely. You can rarely make sudden swerves between emotions, and what's said has an impact on the conversation going forward. If someone pisses Lena off, she'll actually act pissed off, and you won't be able to walk that back by selecting dialogue options that run counter to that feeling. This also plays into your quest to keep your star rating up, as you'll be given a game over if your overall rating is sustained below 4 stars, meaning you need to manage Lena's emotions and responses to situations in order to keep customers somewhat happy. Like with the douche who puked in the backseat of my car. As much as I wanted to call him out, when the option was there, I chose to keep Lena mostly calm to preserve my star rating. The Feel Grid is a great addition to Neocab, adding a nice complication to having conversations and helping me feel even more immersed in the narrative by giving me a constant view into the protagonist's emotional state at any given moment. Neocab is a great narrative adventure game. While I wasn't totally enamored with the main narrative, I was riveted by the side stories of the various passengers I met along the way, so much so that I'm actually itching to finish out the game and then start over so I can interact with the other characters I missed the first time around. The Feel Grid adds a really cool layer to conversations, and I love the idea of the main character's mood affecting what dialogue options are available. If you're after a compelling narrative game, it's definitely worth checking out Neocab. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave us a comment, like, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got tons of awesome videos coming every week, including review impressions, indie game of the week, debate-driven top 5 lists, video essays, and our weekly podcast where we discuss games, gaming culture, and the games industry. We also stream 3 times a week at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. But most importantly, have a fantastic day.